Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets, drinking some classic German beer from Riegele in Augsburg in Germany. Love their lagers. I've only had lagers and a stout and some IPA, some of their craft kind of series or their more modern series, but I never had their Weizens. And Bavaria is very famous for its Weissbier. Think of Weihenstephan and Schneider and Erdinger Paulaner. There's so many fairly decently sized breweries doing it. I mean, Riegele is also not a small brewery, but it's still independent and family owned. I think it's family owned. It's definitely a big independent brewery, but I love their stuff. So far, they've produced two of the best lager style beers I've had in the Pilsner category and the Helles category. Not sure if they're as good as Weizen. I don't know if it's a thing that they're well known for, but we'll find out. These certainly look good with amazing fluffy heads and whatnot. Weissbier is not a style that I go for that often, but I've had an inkling to revisit the style and try and revisit more examples. Like I've always said, like my favorite were Schneider and Weihenstephan. But like try and revisit some other breweries or try some other breweries beers and whatnot. Like for example, when I had the Münchenbacher Weizen Bock, I was like totally blown away by the insane bubblegummy, like banana-y, crazy yeast character. It was just nuts. It was so good. I think they also do a Hefe Weizen, but I've never tried it. Most like when you can get, I'm actually not sure if they actually do one, and if they do it, they do it in bottles. But they are a fantastic brewery as well. And, one I'm yet to visit, but one day when I go to Franconia, also hopefully one day I'll go to Augsburg and visit Riegele, drink some fresh lager at the source. But let's try these. So we got some Hefeweizen. We got two bottles. We got a bottle of their Leichte Weisse and their Hefeweizen. So a Hefeweizen and a low ABV Hefeweizen. They are naturtrüb and schlank or naturtrüb and fruchtig. They're unfiltered and pasteurized as all their beers. The light one is 3.3% and the regular one is 5%. So it says top fermented and ripened in the bottles, matured in the bottle, ripened, gereift. It's like direct Danish translation there. But yeah, so basically these two, this is like trying to do a calorically light alternative to people who like Weiss beers is pretty much what I can gather. They say it still has a full fruity taste and whatnot, but it's more light than your average Weiss beer, yet surprisingly full and full of character. This one, on the other hand, they say it's a full flavored Weiss beer, and a Weiss beer you don't only have to drink in the beer garden because you can also bring it home fresh in the bottle. That's the marketing on that one. So yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, Weiss beers can be really, really freaking good, especially if they're fresh. The key with Weizen is freshness. And since I bought these on the brewery web shop, I'm hoping they're fresh. So I think we should start with a Leichte, just because it's a low ABV Weizen. So yeah, 3.3%. Let's take a look at it here. And I get to use Weiss beer glasses. I have like 6, and I never really drink it, but you know what? Let's revisit the style. Look at that, the OG hazy beer. Not full-on turkey gravy haze as with modern beers, but as you do, you pour in most of the beer. When you get to the bottom, you swirl the bottle and you dunk it in, and then you get a hazy Weizen. That's how it is, because it will settle in the bottom of the bottle. But yeah, really, really fluffy head too, but pin bright yellow and hazy. It almost looks like a wit beer, the Leichte one. But yeah, the heads on Weiss beers and also in general wheat beers are so awesome because of the wheat in there. But let's check out the aroma. Yeah, clove and banana. You know what? The first thing I thought of when I smelled this is like, this smells similar to something I've had before. And it's, I can't really put a finger on what beer it is, but it smells like a stronger beer that I've had before that's also a Weizen. And I'm not sure if I'm thinking, like it's quite citric too. Is it a local beer maybe? Like a Danish Hefeweizen? I can't remember. It smells similar to something. Again, Hefeweizen is so far away, but it smells like something. It just smells familiar. But it has the banana note, and that's the big thing you look for in Hefeweizen. Banana, clove, all these kind of spicy nuances. But it's also quite lemony and really fluffy and wheaty. Like, it smells like a much stronger beer than it is. Smells like 4 to 5% actually, but with like light crispness to it, like more as if it's a drier Weizen. Well, it smells nice. Let's try it. The Leichte Weisse. Cheers. Yeah, so it's not, of course, it's not as full-bodied as a regular Weizen. It's really doughy and really wheaty and really bready, highly carbonated and fluffy. Like Weizens are really highly carbonated. That's part of the style. Much more citric on the flavor. Definitely some banana, but it is not like that really heavy overripe. And I think it's also because it's light. So you have light malts and light malt character. There's not a lot of sweetness to really boost that overripe sweet kind of banana flavor. But yeah, touch of clove, touch of pepper. Like, I would definitely pick a regular strength Hefeweizen over this. But we'll just put this to the side and bring forth the full-bodied one, hopefully, the 5% one. Not much else to say about this one other than it's a strong Hefeweizen, or regular strength Hefeweizen, and probably the one that people are most happy drinking if they go to Riegele or any place that sells Riegele beer. So also quite densely hazy, this one. When I swirled in the yeast, pouring it out, it looked a bit more light, but you can definitely see that this is a beer that's got more malt. It's nowhere near as pale in the color. And yeah, it's got a slight orange hue, but otherwise very yellow, also very fluffy white head. And this one, the CO2, when I poured it out, looked nuts. Let's check out the aroma on the Riegele Hefeweizen. Much more overripe, much more like dense, sweet kind of banana nuances on this one, and clove, also even nutmeg. Yeah, and also more dough, like it's just like this sweeter and more of everything, really. It's quite similar in the aromatics. But like the yeast character is not as expressive as in some of like the really prime examples, I think. At least so far. Like if you compare to like, again, like I always say Schneider as a reference, really, or Weizenstefan, because I think their yeast characters are so forward, but it's also really hard to smell with this amount of headspace in the glass, but it smells nice. Also like the doughy breadness and everything. Let's try it. Cheers. Yeah, it's a more light, bright Hefeweizen. Definitely banana, definitely clove, banana bready kind of flavors, but like a light banana bread. A little bit of that nutmeg note. Lots of citrus, lots of lemon pith in both of them. But it's just floral too, actually. It's a totally different type of Weizen. But I just feel like it's lacking that like super luxurious, like oomphy yeast character. It's not, some Hefeweizen yeast are not like as heavy on the banana notes and a more like phenolic, spicy heavy. And this one seems a bit like just balanced between the two, which is nice. But it's not having me as fired up as their lagers at all. Although it is quite nice, and it's still, I prefer it over the Leichte. It's a very bright Hefeweizen. I can totally see this on a hot summer day or spring day or something like that. And it's very fluffy and it's lots of carbonation. It feels like it's like fully yet dry, kind of like some of their lagers. I don't know what yeast they use in this, but it reminds me a little bit of it's a WB06 from Fermented, and I've never been the biggest fan of that one in terms of, I think it lacks a lot of the overripe banana character. It's just a guess, I'm not entirely sure, but around the 80s, maybe 82 or something like that for the Leichte Weisse, it's nice. And if you love Weissbier and want something light, that's for you. This one, 85, 86, something like that. Like, It's nice, it's decent beer, but it's not rocking my world. But trust me, their lager game is where it's at. So if you guys had a chance to try either of these Weiss beers from Riegele, the Leichte Weisse or the Hefe Weisse, let me know. We still got a couple to try. We'll see what we think of those. But if you had them, let me know. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I want to say cheers and see you guys in the beer review.